Welcome to today's Open Heavens Reflections. My name is Andrea Onduku and I co-pastor Chapel of Grace, a parish of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, with my husband Dr. Adeboye Onduku, and we are based in Bradford, West Yorkshire. It's great to be with you today, and it's my prayer that you will indeed be blessed by today's reflections. Our topic today is dangerous desires. Our Bible passage is from Numbers 11:31 to 35. Now a wind went out from the Lord, and it brought quail from the sea, and left them fluttering near the camp, about a day's journey on this side, and about a day's journey on the other side, all around the camp, and about 2 cubits above the surface of the ground. And the people stayed up all that day, all night, and all the next day, and gathered the quail. He who gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them out for themselves all around the camp. But while the meat was still between their teeth, before it was chewed, the wrath of the Lord was raised against the people, and the Lord struck the people with a very great plague. So he called the name of that place Kibroth Hattava, because there they buried the people who had yielded to the craving. From Kibroth Hattava, the people moved to Hazeroth and camped at Hazeroth. A memory verse is from Psalm 106, verse 15. And he gave them their request, but sent leanness into their soul. What an astounding story we read today in our Bible passage. If we read the background to this passage, we will have better understanding. The Israelites had been eating manna that had been provided for them supernaturally by God. They began to be dissatisfied with God's provision and wanted meat. They were complaining that they had better food in Egypt, forgetting how they had cried for God to deliver them from Egypt. As if this wasn't enough ungratefulness, Moses came also to God to complain that the people were complaining and it had enough of them, and he asked that God would kill him. God responded to all this by saying that he would give them so much meat that it would be coming out of their nostrils. Now Moses added insult to injury by telling God he didn't think this was possible, and asked God where he would get all the meat from, as if he had not seen the manna that had supernaturally fallen from the sky previously. This leads to the passage we read at the beginning, which describes God granting their request, but while they were still eating the meat, God sent a terrible plague and destroyed them. This is why God should be feared and revered. He does not have to tolerate such discontentment, ungratefulness, and unbelief. The desire of the Israelites was not dangerous because of its content. There was actually nothing wrong with asking for meat, but it was because it was born out of wrong motives, their ungratefulness. Psalm 37 verse 4 says that God will give us the desires of our hearts, but these desires should be in line with the will of God. We should not look back to Egypt, to the world, lustfully longing for what we once had when we were on unrighteousness. We should desire the things of God and be content with His pace for our life. If we are not careful and we insist on demanding what we are not yet due to have, God may grant our request and it will cause us problems if we are not ready for it. If we desire what is unrighteous, judgment may follow, as it did for the Israelites. Check your desires today and ensure that you develop patience to wait on God's timing. So it's very important that we know what the will of God is for our lives. You can see how even though the meat was not good at that time for God, because of their persistence and their complaining, He gave in to their request. What is that thing that you have been asking God for and you're not prepared to wait? And so you decide you're going to get it one way or another, even if it means unrighteous means. Perhaps you are expecting wealth, but you go to get it on your own terms. Well, of course, then judgment will come. It's much better to wait on God and God's timing. Our prayer point today is, Father, every request I make or desire I have that can bring your judgment upon me, please do not grant such requests and take such desires away from my heart. In Jesus' name, I pray for you today that you will have the grace to wait on God and to only ask for those things which are in line for His will for your life. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.